Hello, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial on the effective use of this grading sheet that I've provided for you. Please know that this is a template, and you can adjust it and do things differently if you choose to, but this is something for you to be able to use effectively in your classroom if you want your students to be a little more accountable and own their own grade. The four parts of this I'm going to go through briefly. The first part of this is time, and it refers to the amount of time that they study their scriptures. We want them to have an effective study time with their scriptures, not just reading through just to mark things off. So you'll notice that, and I'll try and highlight this the best that I can in these different areas, but you'll notice that here in this instruction portion, it says please set a monthly goal or a monthly personal goal for the number of minutes that you will read each day in the oval provided. For example, 15 minutes per day. Set a goal that's achievable but that will stretch you. When a new month begins, please set a new goal. 1 point is given for every day that you achieve your goal. Please mark the days that you reach your daily minute goal. Now, it may be that they choose to have the same goal every month, but that's okay. It just gives them an opportunity to track that. This box, these shaded boxes here, is where they put the month. So that would be January, February, and March for this 9 weeks. If they, after doing that, then this is where they would put in this oval, this is where they would put their minute goal. And then they would, if they achieve that each day, then they would go ahead and mark that in the individual boxes here. And some of you have asked, okay, so if they mark that box, you've asked what the little tiny boxes are for. These right here. And that's where they can, and I know it's small, it's tiny, but that's where they put the day. So if Sunday is the 1st of January, they'd put 1, and then 2 and Monday, and 3 and Tuesday, and so forth. So here's the suggestion, that you have them take this out every single day. Don't wait for the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the quarter. They should be marking their reading every single day, and as they do that in those boxes, they can also take out, go to myseminary.com, and they can mark it off every day there. It's very, very simple for them to do this. They can take this grading sheet out, and if they get in the habit, they can do this as they're coming in, even before devotional. I mean, it takes them just a moment to mark those things off. So that would be my suggestion, to have them go to myseminary.lds.org, the My Seminary app, and also mark this off every single day for their reading. And that'll help you to keep track of that. The next part of this is effort. And you'll notice that in this box right here, there's one of the goals. It says to pray to have the Holy Ghost teach me before I study. And then there's a place for 2 other goals for them to be able to write down. And those are given as examples here. For example, you could mark the scriptures, ask questions, check footnotes, make outlines, keep a notebook, provide pondering time or ponderize, whatever it is. And this is something that they're not going to mark off, you'll notice, until the very end of the semester or the end of the 9 weeks. But this is something also that they ought to be paying attention to each day, and you can ask them maybe on a weekly basis, hey, how are you doing on your effort part of your grading sheet on those goals that you wrote down? And just see if that's something that they can at least have in the front of their minds and pay attention to. Then we come down to number 3 and 4, which has to do with the Holy Ghost being in the seminary classroom and having the classroom look the way that you would like it to look as a teacher. So the first part of this, of course, is over here with all of these different things, and you'll notice that it also says nearly always, most of the time, sometimes, seldom, if ever. So they're going to mark these off at the end of the 9 weeks as well. But there's spots down here that you can add to things if you are not seeing what you'd like to in the classroom, or if you are seeing things that you'd like to emphasize. Either way, you'll notice that certain things are on here, like I am on time to class. Things like I make comments and participate in class. I mark my scriptures, and that might even be on the mobile app, whatever it is that they're doing. All of those different things they can evaluate themselves on, and that's something else that you could do on a weekly basis and just have them check and see if that's something that they're paying attention to. And then finally over here is the extra credit. We don't memorize scriptures in class anymore because of the time frame, but we certainly invite them to do it outside of class, and they can pass these off and get extra credit for it. They could also use this portion here if you wanted to use the assessment part of those quizzes that we've done, and they could include those in the box here if you wanted to try and utilize those. Either way, it gives you an opportunity to give them extra points when sometimes they feel like grades are just punitive, but this gives you a chance to really give them as many points as you can. So that is the brief tutorial. Hopefully that's helpful for you in utilizing this grading sheet. And like I say, oh, there's one last thing that I wanted to mention. Sorry about that. This portion down here on the quarter grade, you'll notice that it says quarter. So this is 9 weeks. You want to have them do this each 9 weeks, and that makes it so that they can hit the reset button basically. This part right here where it gives the grading scale, you can adjust that however you'd like. If it doesn't fit what you feel like it should fit, then you can adjust that however you like. And then down here, this is where they get a chance to decide what their points are for each of those 4 categories. And then, of course, at the very bottom of this, they'll put their total points. Then they'll put their total points here and the quarter grade here. And then they'll take the next 9 weeks and they'll average those together, and that's what their grade would be at the end of the 9 weeks. So, like I said, I hope that this is helpful for you. If you have other questions or concerns about grades, just feel free to ask your stake supervisor or myself, or even Sister Clyde, and we'll try and answer those the best that we can. But hopefully this has been helpful for you, and you can utilize this grading sheet more effectively in your classroom. Have a great day.